Yeah. I guess it doesn't need to go on the record, I don't think, Your Honor, but just for clarifications, we're looking over the jury list here. I've already let Mr. Green know I expect that there will be at least 2 individuals on the list.
Maybe do that when the jury's present.
Okay. Remember that situation before? Serious with the prosecutors that's going on. That should be over.
I'm sorry?
That's for the juggling of prosecutors that's going on. That should be over now.
Oh.
Well, I don't plan on going anywhere, and this is my assignment. So
Gotcha.
as far as I know here,
Whatever's on it. You get chicken.
Let's see.
Okay, so just sandwich.
Actually, yeah, let's do it. Negative comment.
Yeah.
It's going to take us long to go through witnesses. Question, how long is the thing to be decided?
All right. Looks like we're running out of space. Okay, very good. I'm going to pull 7 of you all out anyway, so let's do that now. First, that when I say juror number one, you're going to the seat all the way inside of the bay there. Jessica Lynn Cooper,
Nope, this way.
seat number one. Zain Nashazel, number two. Number three is going to be Nicole Horner. Number four, Kelly Maynard. Number five, Kaylee Sargent. Number six, Philip Hinges. And number seven, Gavino Martinez. Now there should be enough space for everyone to have a seat there. And you all could be seated. Okay, good morning still, everyone. If you want to turn your attention to the screen, we have some instructions that we need to go over. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Judge Kristen D. Simmons, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 54A District Court. I promise you this only happens when we're doing jury instructions. Let me get out of this. Okay. Again, my name is Judge Kristen D. Simmons, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 54A District Court of Lansing, Michigan, Ingham County. I know that jury duty may be a new experience for some of you, but jury duty is one of the most serious duties that members of the free society are asked to perform. Our system of self-government could not exist without it. The jury is an important part of this court. The right to have a jury trial is an ancient tradition and part of our heritage. The law says that both a person who is accused of a crime and the prosecution have the right to a trial, not by one person, but by a jury of 6 impartial persons. Jurors must be as free as humanly possible from bias, prejudice, or sympathy for either side. Each side in a trial is entitled to jurors who keep an open mind until the time comes to decide the case. The trial begins with jury selection. The purpose of this process is to obtain information about you that would help us choose a fair, impartial jury to hear this case. During jury selection, the lawyers and I may ask you questions. That is called the voir dire. The questions are meant to find out if you know anything about the case. Also, we need to find out if you have any opinions or personal experiences that might influence you for or against the prosecution, defendant, or any witness. One or more of these things could cause you to be excused in this particular case, even though you may otherwise be qualified to be a juror. The questions may probe deeply into your attitudes, beliefs, and experiences. They are not meant to be an unreasonable prying into your private life. The law requires that we get this information so that an impartial jury can be chosen. If you do not hear or understand a question, you should say so. If you do understand it, you should answer it truthfully and completely. Please do not hesitate to speak freely about anything you believe we should know. During jury selection, you may be excused from serving on the jury in one of 2 ways. First, I may excuse you for cause. That is, I may decide that there is a valid reason why you cannot or should not serve in this particular case. or a lawyer from one side or the other may excuse you without giving any reason for doing so. This is called a preemptory challenge. The law gives each side a certain number of preemptory challenges to excuse jurors in that way. If you are excused, you should not feel bad or take it personally. As I explained before, there simply may be something that causes you to be excused from this particular case. I will now ask every one of the jurors to stand and swear to answer truthfully, fully, and honestly all the questions that you will be asked about your qualifications to serve as a juror in this case. If you have religious beliefs against taking an oath, you may affirm that you will answer all the questions truthfully, fully, and honestly. All rise. And please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will truthfully and completely answer all the questions about your qualifications to serve as jurors in this case? If you do so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you. You can be seated. Okay, let me introduce some of the parties and players for today. First, I have my court recorder, who's to my right. That's Ms. Addie Nash. My court officer, Mr. Bigelow, is sitting here, Nicholas Bigelow. And this is a criminal case involving assault or assault and battery, and I'll discuss that more fully later. This charge has been made against the defendant, who is sitting at the table here to my far left. It's Mr. Alerte Cadet. The defendant's attorney is Mr. John Lee. Mr. Lee, please stand and list any witnesses you anticipate calling in this trial.
Thank you, Your Honor. The defense intends to call Mr. Alerte Cadet and Miss Marjorie Cadet.
Okay, thank you. And then the prosecuting attorney here is Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Jeffrey Brodowitz. Mr. Brodowitz, can you please stand and list any witnesses you anticipate calling today at trial?
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeff Rhodes. I'm the Assistant Prosecuting Attorney. Today, I plan on calling Miss Samantha Cadet and Officer Joseph Traversa.
Okay. Does anyone in the jury box or waiting for their chance to be placed in the jury box know the defendant, any of the lawyers, or any of the witnesses named? Ma'am?
I know the prosecutor.
You know the prosecutor? How do you know the prosecutor?
He was the prosecutor in the case I was in a couple months ago.
Okay, you were involved in a criminal case a couple months ago and he prosecuted it?
Yes,
What is your name?
Rachel Ostrowski.
Anyone else know any of the attorneys or the witnesses? Sir,
I was a witness in the case of the prosecutor.
these two people you were gonna bring up?
Yes, you.
Okay, and what's your name again, sir?
Saying Naha.
Zain Nahassel? Okay. Okay, based on that, I'm going to remove both of those individuals for a cause. Any objection from the prosecution or the defense?
No objection, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You may be excused from your service today. And Ms. Ostrowski would have been next in line, but you're going to be excused as well, okay? Thank you both for your willingness to proceed today. Okay, Arturo Campos. You are going to take seat number 2. Okay, and just to make sure I didn't miss anyone else know any other people that I introduced in here today? Okay. We think this trial will last for 1 day. Given the amount of evidence that they've just presented, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to complete this today. If you believe the length of a trial will be a real hardship for you, please let me know right now. You can raise your hand if you think this will be a hardship for you. Very good. Let's see. Some of you may have health problems that would prevent you from serving on a jury. For example, does anyone have a medical problem that makes you unable to sit for 2 or 3 hours at a time? Does anyone have a sight or hearing problem? So anybody have any problems, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I have several autoimmune diseases that prevent me from sitting for long periods,
Okay, how long of a period?
roughly an hour.
Okay, we typically, I can't sit for 2, 3 hours at a time either. That's unreasonable. So we would never sit for that long without taking a break. But if you get back in that, if you get in that box, you'll remind me again of your issues. Okay, ma'am?
I have a hearing problem. I've got 2 hearing aids. I can hear it at the top. I don't know.
Okay, very good. Thank you for letting us know, because we need to make sure we keep our voices up, and we'll make sure that the witness keeps their voices up. But this volume works well for you?
Yeah.
Very good. Anybody else have a sight or hearing problem? Can everyone hear me? Okay. No other medical issues that you believe you need to alert me to? Okay, you don't need to blurt out your medical issues at all. You can just let me know you have something that concerns, and I can have you approach, okay? Very good. This is a criminal case. The paper used to charge the defendant with a crime is called a complaint. The complaint in this case charges defendant Alerte Cadet with the crime of assault or assault and battery. And it reads as follows, that on or about January 18, 2023, at the area of 3016 North Waverly Road, City of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan, that the defendant did allegedly, contrary to law, commit the act in count 1 of assault or assault and battery, and did make an assault or assault and battery upon the following person, that being a Samantha Cadet, and that this was contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.811. You must understand that the complaint that I just read is not evidence in this case. The defendant has pled not guilty to the charge, and you should clearly understand that the complaint is not evidence. A complaint is read in every criminal case so that the defendant and the jury can hear the charges. You must not think it is evidence of his guilt or that he must be guilty because he has been charged. A person accused of a crime is presumed to be innocent. This means that you must start with the presumption that the defendant is innocent. This presumption continues throughout the trial and entitles the defendant to a verdict of not guilty unless you are satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt that he is guilty. Every crime is made up of parts called elements. The prosecution must prove each element of the crime beyond a reasonable doubt. The defendant is not required to prove his innocence or to do anything. If you find that the prosecution has not proven every element beyond a reasonable doubt, then you must find the defendant not guilty. A reasonable doubt is a fair, honest doubt growing out of the evidence or lack of evidence. It is not merely an imaginary or possible doubt, but a doubt based on reason and common sense. A reasonable doubt is just that, a doubt that is reasonable after careful and considered examination of the facts and circumstances of this case. We'll now begin with our voir dire, Mr. Brodowitz. You proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone. As I said, my name is Jeff Brodowitz. I'm the assistant prosecutor on this case. And so we are here, we're going to do a process called voir dire. I'm going to ask you some questions. Mr. Lee's going to ask you some questions. We're not trying to pry into your personal lives at all, dig too deep. We just want to make sure that we can get the fairest and best jury possible here. So just to start off, basically questions, kind of for the whole group. Has anyone here ever served on a jury before? So I know we kind of went over this, but I'll broaden it up. Has anyone had any sort of interactions with outside of any interactions with the prosecuting attorney's office, the public defender's office, anything like that? Yes, ma'am? Okay.
Can you speak up, please?
I've been to court before.
Okay, and without prying in, would your experiences with either, public defender's office or the prosecutor's office impact your ability to be impartial here in any way?
No.
Okay. You, sorry, Ms. Horn?
I've had email communications,
Okay.
and advocacy for client.
Okay, and would your interactions, I'm guessing that's with the prosecutor's office, would your interactions with that influence your ability to be fair and impartial here in any way? Okay. So does anyone have any friends or family who are in law enforcement? Sir?
2 cousins who are state troopers.
Okay. And does anyone have, with the fact that you have 2 family members who are state troopers, being as there's plain testimony from an officer here today, would that influence your opinion at all, one way or the other? Would you be able to be fair and impartial?
Oh, no, I have no plans.
Okay. Has anyone ever had any interactions with law enforcement or anything that would impact, that they, I guess, would say would impact their ability to be fair and impartial one way or the other? And so being as there is an officer here, can we all agree that we will give the testimony of the officer the same weight and credibility that we would give any other witness? So as the judge stated, Mr. Cadet is charged with the crime of assault or assault and battery. And the elements of that are that Mr. Cadet either did commit a harmful or offensive touching or intended to commit a harmful or offensive touching on the complaining witness here, Miss Samantha Cadet. Now, everybody's heard of assault or assault and battery before, correct? Okay. And as you've probably guessed, there is a familial relation between the complaining witness in this matter and Mr. Cadet. Does anyone believe that incidences like this should, be kept solely in the home and are, shouldn't be brought to court like this? Okay, see a lot of head shaking. All right. So one of the elements that we will have to prove as the prosecution in this case is intent. And so intent, does everyone recognize that intent can be determined by actions or words? Does anyone have a problem with that? Okay. And do you believe that as jurors, you'll be able to determine the intent, the defendant's intent from the facts that you'll hear today? And then just in general, does everybody understand the difference between an intentional act and an accident? Okay. So most of the evidence you'll hear today in this case will be in the form of testimonial evidence. So is anyone here expecting, some independent eyewitness who has a perfect memory to come forward and say, this is exactly what happened? Okay, is anybody expecting to see, any sort of high-tech, CSI stuff like you'd see on TV? Okay. And that as most of the evidence here will be testimonial, does everyone, understand that witnesses will have, different emotions, different motives, imperfect memories? And as jurors, do you believe that you will be able to, determine who is credible and who is believable based on what you hear here today? And you, so do you understand that the credibility and believability of a witness is a determination only you can make as jurors, correct? So as the judge stated, the standard of proof that we need to meet here is beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, without saying, Ms. Cooper, what does beyond a reasonable doubt mean to you?
is that you need to make sure that
Can you speak up a little bit? They need to hear you.
you need to have facts in order to know for sure that they're guilty or not guilty.
Okay, and so when you say no for sure, is that, I guess in your mind, is that, 100% that they, there can be absolutely no doubt, or,
100%, yes.
okay. And then Miss Sargent, what does beyond a reasonable doubt mean to you?
Means you have to know exactly how the situation played out or what the real cause or intent of the issue.
Okay, and so in your mind, if you had to put I guess I'll ask, if you had to put a percentage on it, what percentage would you say that it needs to be proved?
At least 99%.
Okay. So I'm going to, just briefly, I want to run this by you. So as we've seen today, it's, been a fairly wet last couple of days. So let's say you're you go to bed at night, it's perfectly dry outside. You wake up in the morning, and this is for everybody. You wake up in the morning and you see that there's water droplets on your car. You see the sidewalk in front of your house is wet, your grass is wet. It is, I guess at that point, would everyone agree that it is reasonable to assume that it rained outside that night? Okay. Would you also say, though, that it is possible that there was a crazy person with a hose standing on top of your roof all night, spraying water all over your lawn and your car and the sidewalk? Is that also possible? Okay, but I guess that's I guess the standard we're looking for here is it reasonable? So I know you said, 100%, but we are looking for the standard we have to meet is not beyond, any doubt or beyond all doubt. It's beyond a reasonable doubt. Does everyone think they can make a decision based on that standard? So then, if I am able to meet my case and prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Cadet is guilty of the crime of assault and battery, does anyone here have a problem rendering a guilty verdict in that, regardless of any punishment that may be imposed? As jurors, it's not your, would you, I guess, better way to put that is, would you take punishment into account when determining if a guilty or not guilty verdict? That's where everybody. Oh. And apologies, but sir, in chair number 6, what's your name, sir? I missed it when the judge.
Philip Henges.
Okay. So, okay, so just a few other quick questions. So, Mr. Henges, you listed your occupation as attorney. What type of law do you practice?
I've mostly been involved with administrative law and working as a policy advisor and staff member in the legislature.
Okay.
Are you employed at Lyra?
Yes.
Oh.
And then Ms. Horn, you said you've had some interaction with the prosecutor's office before. I'm guessing that's in regards to your job as a nonprofit. So you mind if I ask what organization you work for?
I work for the Refugee Development Center.
Okay. No other questions at this time. No?
Mr. Lee.
Morning. Welcome to 54A District Court. I am representing Mr. Alerte Cadet. Mr. Cadet has been charged with a crime. How many people think that Mr. Cadet must be kind of guilty to be sitting here in this chair today? Raise a hand. Anybody think that? Good, good. Because these are just charges, right? And somebody has made an allegation, but you have the responsibility of determining what the truth is. You may not see actual video evidence of the actual incident. You will probably have to make those determinations based on the witness testimony. And to that end, you will be the decider as to who is telling the truth, who's not telling the truth, or what part of what they're saying is true or not true. That is your job, okay? Does anybody on the jury have kids? Got a few people have kids, okay. Ms. Cooper, how old are your children?
12 and 4.
12 and 4, okay. My daughter is 24, but when she was 12, she started with that eye roll thing, you know. You ever have any problems with that preteen sort of attitude?
Yeah.
Yeah, all parents have struggled with that. How many people on the jury think that a parent has an absolute right to set the rules in their home? Most people do. Juror number 2, you were hesitant to raise your hand. What do you think?
Oh, my girlfriend has teenage girls, so. I should know you're right, parents have to say no.
And juror number 3, you didn't raise your hand. Do you not agree with that statement?
I'm just thinking about laws in place and also if there's other parents involved that are not.
Good considerations, yes. In this case, both parents are in the home, but you're right, those are other considerations. Excellent. Has anybody ever been a victim of assault and battery? I don't know if that question was already asked. Yes, you have been? Okay. And did you end up going to court for that? Was there a case?
Yes, I had two questions.
Gotcha. Do you think you'll be able to consider the prosecutor's evidence and decide honestly whether or not he has met his burden?
Yes, I've been on both sides, so.
Been on both sides. Anybody else have any experience with domestic violence or assault and battery, anything like that? No? Oh, I'm sorry. Both of you did. I'm sorry. Juror number 4.
Domestic violence.
Domestic violence. And were you accused of domestic violence or were you a victim of domestic
A
violence?
victim.
Did your case proceed to
I
trial?
didn't go to court.
No. Did you report it to the police?
No.
No. Think that you will be overly sympathetic to a victim in a case like this? Down the middle, decided just. Juror number 3,
My mother is a victim.
in the home when this happened. This was after the case proceeded to trial. No. Did she report it? Not sure. Oh. Anybody think it's possible for a child to bully a parent? How many people think it's possible for a child to bully? Juror number 3 and juror 4. No. Oh, you do? Yes, you do. You do think that's possible? Okay. Because in this case, you're going to hear some back and forth. This is a family matter. And, the defense theory is one thing, the prosecutor's theory is another. You guys will decide what's right and what happened. Those are the questions I had for this one. I appreciate you being honest and talking.
Okay. I know you just asked Mr. Lee, was anybody else involved in a domestic violence? Is that correct?
Yes.
And I saw 2 hands go up.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, and you raised your hand as well?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Lee, I don't think you saw her hand.
Juror number 1?
Yes.
Yes, I saw Ms. Cooper, and there was a juror number 3 and juror number 4 as well.
Okay, very good. Okay, counsel approach. And we're gonna replace number 1 with Jason McKee. Before I let you voir dire the new jurors, is there any challenges for cause, Mr. Bartlett?
No challenges for cause, Your Honor.
Mr. Lee, any challenges for cause?
No challenges for cause.
Okay, what about preemptories, Mr. Bartlett?
Just 1 second, please.
No problem, take your time.
At this time, the people would like to thank and excuse juror number 5. Your Honor.
Thank you, juror number 5, you may be excused. Okay, juror number 5 is last name Sargent. Got any further challenges for cause for you at this time? I mean, preemptories.
No, not from the people.
Okay, Mr. Lee, any preemptories?
Your Honor, the defense would like to thank and excuse juror number 6 and juror number 3.
Okay, juror number 3 and juror number 6, thank you for your service today. Okay. I'm going to place in seat number 3, Timothy Carey. And then Sheila Burks is going to go in seat number 5. Mr. Carey, you're number 3. You're number 5, correct, ma'am? And then number 6 is going to be Zoe Ziegler. Okay, very good. Okay, counsel, you can voir dire.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right. Good afternoon now, to all of our newly seated jurors. So for the newly seated jurors, you all heard the questions that were previously asked by myself and Mr. Lee. Does anyone have any answers to those questions that they would like to make us aware of at this time? Yes, sir.
My father-in-law is a retired state trooper.
Okay. And would the fact that your father-in-law is a retired state trooper, would that impact your impartiality here at all today? Okay. Does anyone else have any family members in law enforcement, any or know any police officers, any interactions with the prosecutor's office, public defender's office?
I was involved with a assault and battery a year and a half ago.
Okay. And Mr. Martinez, correct? Were you the victim in that? Were you the accused? Were you a witness? Okay. And how If you don't mind my asking, how did that resolve?
They found me guilty and I did 6, well, I was supposed to do 10 months of probation, but I been released early release.
And would, I guess, was that here in Ingham County?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and would that interaction, make you biased one way or the other to either side?
I think family matters should just stay at home.
All right. And then, thank you, sir. For Mr. McKee, you heard my explanation for what beyond a reasonable doubt. Does that sound like, is that a standard that you believe you could hold the defendant to, and to my case to as well?
Yes.
Okay. And Ms. Burks, same question. Do you believe that that's a standard I should be held to? Okay. Ms. Ziegler.
Yes.
You are listed as an undergraduate research assistant.
Yes.
What are you studying?
Biochemistry.
Okay. And then going back to Mr. McKee over here, you're listed as retired. What did you do prior to retiring, sir?
I was in the military, did 11 years active, which almost 10 of it was overseas, and finished my time here in the States.
Just, I guess, to go over it again for our new jurors up there, has anyone either been involved with or know somebody who's been involved with either an assault and battery, domestic violence, anything like that? What a question this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Lee.
Thank you.
No, I got so quiet.
So to the jurors that were just set, Mrs. Ziegler, Ms. Burks, Mr. Gary, and Mr. McKee. Do you think it's possible for a child to bully a parent? Yes, yes, or this, okay. And have any of you ever had issues with your parents that involve violence and or struggles of that nature? Yes, okay, juror number 3.
Plenty.
Sorry?
So that plenty of.
Plenty of it?
Plenty of.
Okay, so, Mr. Gary.
Carry.
Carey, sorry, Mr. Carey. That you were ever involved in authorities, police, anything like that?
Ignored it.
No, so it was reported.
It was reported to the sheriff's office. And they ignored it.
Okay, and this was in your home directly?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Given that experience, do you think that evidence that perhaps somebody else has committed something?
Your voice dropped a little bit.
Oh,
You speak up.
Yeah, given that, when you hear evidence that somebody else may have committed some type of an assault or crime, do you think that you'll be able to fairly and impartially judge it, or do you think that maybe you might think, yeah, he probably did?
I'd be fair about it.
You fair about it? Okay.
Yeah. There's always two sides to a story.
And then, again, to the newer jurors that just sat down, do you think that the parent has the right to set the rules in the home? Yeah, that's the parent's right. Yeah. No further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Challenges for cause.
No challenges for cause, Your Honor.
Mr. Lee, any challenges for cause?
No challenges for cause. Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Gradowitz, any preemptory?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, the people would like to thank and excuse juror number 7.
Juror number 7, Mr. Martinez, thank you for your service. Mr. Lee, any challenges, preemptory?
Your Honor, the defense would like to thank and excuse juror number 3.
Thank you, juror number 3. Mr. Carey, you may be excused. Thank you for your service. Replace juror number 7 with Jana Volink. And then juror number 3 is going to be replaced by Roark Michael Hammond. Ms. Volink should be number 7, correct? Okay. Counsel, you can butt here.
Thank you, Your Honor. So for our 2 new jurors, you've heard all the questions that we've asked here. Is there anything that you feel we should know at this time?
I'm a retired attorney and I have been a victim of assault and battery,
Okay. And what type of law did you practice, man?
civil law.
Okay. And then Mr. Hammond.
Throughout most of my childhood, I was abused by family, so
Okay.
I'm very comfortable.
Can you speak up a little bit for me, sir?
I was abused as a child. I don't know if it was sexually, but I do know physically, so I am somewhat partial to that stuff.
And so do you think, based on, given that history, you could be fair and impartial here today on this hearing? Okay. No, that's completely fair. You know, we're looking for honest answers. And then Miss Bowling, you said you were the victim of an assault and battery.
Yes,
Was that was that a stranger? Was that a family member?
it was a stranger rape.
Okay. And were charges ever brought in that case?
The perpetrator was never arrested.
Okay. Would that experience cause you to, lean one way or the other here? Or do you believe you could be fair and impartial? Well,
I could be fair and impartial.
okay. Either Miss Bowling or Mr. Hammond, does anybody have any relatives or anybody in law enforcement? Friends, family members, anything like that?
No family, but.
Okay.
I didn't hear what he said. He said no family, but
A
what?
family that he's sure of, but he's not a big fan of police.
Oh.
Yeah, if you could just keep your voice up a little bit, seriously.
Yeah, my court reporter has to be able to hear it.
And both of you heard the example for reasonable doubt that I gave, and that is a standard you believe you can meet here today. Or
Yes.
that I should be held to?
Yes.
No other questions at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Lee?
Mr. Hammond. I don't want to know the details of the statement, so this will be a pretty straightforward case of physical fight. Do you think that your experiences will preclude you or not allow you to be able to be impartial and judge those facts?
Not to give more detail than needed, but a lot of what I went through had like physical fights or verbal fights or physical and verbal fights. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure that I'll be impartial on that front.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Ms. Bolink?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Bolink, you said you practice civil law. Were any of your cases seeking recovery or restitution for physical violence?
No, collections law.
Most collections. Okay. And you feel like you could be, despite the horrible experience that you described earlier, you feel like you could be fair and impartial today?
Yes.
Okay. No more questions.
Thank you. Any challenges for cause?
Yes, at this point, Your Honor, I think the people would challenge for cause at juror number 3.
Any objection? I would agree. Thank you, juror number 3. You may be excused. Thank you for your service. And Mr. Lee, any challenges for cause?
No challenges for coming.
Okay. Any preemptory?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Lee has used his 3 preemptories. Okay, we are going to, next in line is Miss Daisy Yang. You're gonna go to seat number 3. May voir dire, juror number 3.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Yang. So you've heard all the questions here today. Is there anything that you feel myself or Mr. Lee would be aware of based on these questions?
Yes, as a child, we grew up, we were quite abused. Yeah, it's hard. Don't need more subtle. There's just a lot.
Okay. And like as Mr. Lee said before, without getting into the details of what happened, and as Mr. Lee stated, this involves a physical altercation. Do you believe that your experiences growing up would affect your ability to be fair and impartial here today?
It would be.
Okay. I think that no further.
And just so it's clear, the case is not involving a minor, correct?
No, it does not
Okay,
involve.
and so
minors.
even
Yes.
as that's information about 2 adults, you don't believe you can be fair and impartial, correct?
No.
Oh. Any questions or voir dire, Mr. Lee?
No questions.
Any challenges for Voss?
Yes, Your Honor, the people would challenge posture number 3.
Any objection?
No objection.
Thank you, juror number 3, for your service.
Sorry, couldn't be any help, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't have to
That's
apologize
fine,
for your
that's
life's
fine.
experiences. We thank you for your candor. And we have 1 remaining juror in the box. That's gonna be Carol Ann Usher. You can take seat number 3. And just so we're clear, we do actually have 6 jurors. We're just looking for an alternate. do your voir dire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, Ms. Usher, again, same thing. You've heard all the questions. Is there anything that you feel, myself, or the court, or Mr. Lee should be aware of?
Growing up, I was an abused child, and I was also sexually abused as an adult.
Okay, and do you feel, based on those experiences, that you could be fair and impartial here today, based on what you've heard so far about the case? You think so? Okay. Any friends, family, anybody like that in law enforcement? Any interactions with the prosecutor's office or the public defender's office? No other questions, Your Honor?
Thanks, Mr. Thanks for waiting so long. Yeah. So, we had some bad stuff. This is a incident involving two adults, one older, one younger, that involves physicality, certainly nothing about sexual abuse nature. I think that your prior experiences allow you to be impartial and fair and consider all the facts? Are you already finding yourself leaning one way or the other?
No, I think I
can. Questions?
Challenges for cause.
At this point, Your Honor, I don't think we would have any challenges for cause.
Mr. Lee.
No challenge.
Thank you. And are we satisfied with the jury as impaneled?
Yes, Your Honor, I think we're satisfied with this jury.
The defense is satisfied.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have impaneled the jury. You will serve to hear the matters before the court today for this trial. It is 12:37, so I need to give you all a break. A, you've been sitting for about an hour, but B, you might need to have lunch. Yes, I said it's 12:37, so I got to give you a break. And you got to get some lunch. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take a break now versus me going into the next set of instructions. That way we can do our instructions, and then we'll go right into opening statements when we return from the break. While you are away, you should know that you are here to be serving as a juror. So that means you can't have discussions with anybody involved in this case, because you don't know who's involved and who may be a witness. You should be careful and cautious about speaking to anyone. If anyone approaches you, whether it be the other attorneys or the defendants, and try to talk to you, you need to tell them to stop, let them know that you're a juror, and then you'll notify Mr. Bigelow as soon as possible when you return, okay? So it is 12:37. I'm going to have you return back here. At 1:15, okay? Does anybody have any questions? Okay, everyone has their juror sticker? Yes, sir.
So we can just go grab lunch anyway.
Yep, you can go grab lunch. There's some restaurants down there. And then there, you all will be in the jury room back here, okay? No problem. And if you want or need to lock any of your things into the jury room back there, you can lock your things in there. Only the jurors are allowed to be in there during this time, okay? Any additional questions? All right, all rise for the jury. You can be excused.
We'll be back at 1:50 tonight.
I'll be back at 1:15. Yes. Okay, you can be seated. Any additional matters before we recess for lunch?
Nothing from the people.
Nothing for the defense.
Thank you. I'll see you back at 1:15.
Thank you.